I have been single for 10 years, y'all. 10 years. That's too much of a burden to put on someone. Hey G fam, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a get ready with me. Today's topic is about waiting and not settling no matter what. For those of you who are not new to my channel and are already a part of the family, welcome back. I am so happy to see you again. For those of you who are new and have never seen my face or heard of my name here on YouTube before, my name on YouTube is Godsmylove. My real name is Shannon, and I do videos on faith, life as a travel, labor and delivery nurse, lifestyle, and self. So if you like any of those things, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you will be notified when I post videos. So today's look is going to be natural. I am going to do some color in the future, but most of the time I'm doing like natural looks. So waiting and not settling. Okay, for those of you who may know, I have been single for 10 years, y'all. 10 years, okay? And don't get me wrong, it has been joyous. Both singleness and marriage is a blessing. Both of them are blessings. Sometimes being single for that long, especially when you know you want to be married, can be a little discouraging. And there's even been times where I've been like, well, maybe it's not meant for me to get married, because everybody's not meant to be married, and that's okay. But that's something that you have to figure out with your conversation with God. Like, is marriage meant for you, or are you just being influenced by the world, you know? So and like, do you really want to have kids, or is that being influenced by the world? Or, you know, is this really something that you truly desire? Or is it something that you think you should do because that's what the world says, you know? But I know I want to be married. This is my little makeup mirror by Simple Human. I love this thing. It goes off as soon as you close the case, and it goes on, it turns on as soon as you open the case. I love it. But anyways, I'll put the links of these items in the description. Know if it is meant for you to be married, or if you just want to be married for worldly or selfish reasons. You got to figure that out first. But I do know that I want to be married. I desire to have that companionship with marriage. I want to do things for God's kingdom. That's the real reason for marriage, y'all. This world tries to make it be like, oh, you get married for someone to make you happy. That's too much of a burden to put on someone. No one has enough power to make you happy, and that's just selfish on its own to want to get married just so someone can make you happy. You just think about what you can get out of it. But the real purpose of marriage is ministry, is God-minded. God made marriage, and you do get things out of it. I'm not saying you don't get things out of marriage, because obviously you do. But that's not the main reason for marriage. Marriage is not for selfish desire. I asked God about something about marriage, and then he straight up told me, he was like, you gotta have a purpose for marriage. And I was like, wow, yeah, I mean, that's true. You have to have a purpose for marriage. You can't just be married just because, oh, because we love each other, or because we like each other a lot. Like, there's much more to it than that. What is your purpose for marriage? What do you want to do in your marriage for God's kingdom? As far as like singleness, I remember talking to God, and I was like, God, I've been single for 10 years. And I said it with such sadness. And you know, because at moments, there are moments where I get sad, and most of the time I'm happy about my singleness, but there are definitely moments where I get discouraged. There are definitely times where I get frustrated and I'm mad at God. There are definitely times where I get very upset and I'm crying, and I'm just like, why have I been single for so long? Like, what is going on up there? Like, God, okay, I know what you told me, like, what is going on? But when I told God that, and I was like, I've been waiting for I've been waiting for over 10 years. And then immediately God assured me, he was like, well, look at all that you have done in your waiting. You haven't been just waiting around. You have done things. You have gotten into the career that you've always wanted to get into. You have traveled a lot. You have traveled to different places. You have done things that would have been much harder for you to do if you were in a relationship. You have gotten more involved with your church. I mean, I know I'm traveling right now, so I'm really not that involved right now. But, you know, it's so many things that I have done in my singleness because I was single and I wasn't distracted. And it has been a major blessing. This world always tries to downplay every season that you're in. Oh, you need to be in this season, you need to be in that season. And then when you get to that season, you're like, okay, well, you need to get to this season. Stay in the blessings that you prayed for years ago. Be able to live in the blessings that you've been praying for years ago. Singleness is such a blessing. Like, I'm telling you, that's the perfect time to get your lust and selfish thoughts in check. It is the time to learn about who you really are without somebody else in your ear. And it's a time that everybody should have. Everybody should have a season is whether you're meant for singleness for your whole life or whether you're meant for singleness just for a time, you know. It is the time that you have complete undivided attention for God and to learn more about God on your own, you know, without somebody in your ear again, because, you know, no matter how strong-minded you are, having somebody in your ear does change things. But there were times where I thought I had to settle, like, well, maybe I should look at guys that I'm not that attracted to. Like, no, God does not want you to be with someone that you have to wake up and not be able to stand to look at them. No. So, God would not do that to you. God would not give you someone that you can't stand to look at. God said he will give you the desires of your heart. If they are not selfish, they cannot be selfish. They cannot be carnal. They cannot be flesh-driven. And he will not give you flesh-driven desires because flesh-driven desires do not last. They are temporary. They are heartbreaking. They are damaging to you. He is a good God. He would not give you something that would be damaging and heartbreaking and something that's just going to last for a few months. So he will give you things that are of his will and glorifying to him, that are good desires within you. Having someone that you're attracted to is a good godly desire. That is not a selfish desire. So don't think that you have to downplay. Don't think that you have to be with someone that you're not attracted to and that you're missing out because you're dodging people that you're not attracted to. No, that is not true. That is what the enemy wants you to believe. And you know that if you were to be with someone that you're not attracted to, you know it's not going to last because you're not attracted to them. There's nothing there. There's no kind of, you know, and I do understand that sometimes people think that they're not attracted to someone and they just needed to get to know them. That's totally different. Like, I'm talking about if you just can't even stand looking at the person, like, there's no kind of attraction, like not even a little bit, and you try to force it. Like, no, God would not want you to be with someone like that. God wouldn't want you to be with someone where you got to force like conversations. He don't want you to be with someone that you got to force anything. You're not going to have to force anything that God sends that's for you. What's for you is truly for you, and it's going to be a perfect fit for you. They're not going to be perfect, but they're going to be perfect for you. I'm going to talk about like the power of believing that you will get your spouse. There were two co-workers. One of them was back at home in Atlanta, and then another one here that I met at Houston, Texas. I remember specifically the first one back in Atlanta, she was saying that I don't think I'm ever going to meet my husband. And I was like, girl, yes, you will. You will meet your husband. You will meet him soon. And the following year, she met her fiance, who is now her husband. And then the one that I met here in Houston, I got here, the first time I got here in Houston was back in 2020. And she was like, I'm just not meeting any right guys. I'm just never going to meet my husband. She said, I just don't believe I'm ever going to meet my husband. And I said, girl, yes, you are. You're going to meet your husband. You're going to meet him soon. You're going to meet him before you know it. The following year, she met, which was last year, she met, who is now her husband. They just had a baby yesterday. Y'all, and here I am. I'm like, God, I don't know if you got a husband out there for me. Like, what's taking so long? Like, am I meant to get married? All that kind of stuff. How I believe more for them that they'll meet their husband than I believe for myself. And just me believing that they'll meet their husband. They met their husband the following year, y'all. So that's God showing me, you got to believe. You got to stop going back and forth. Like, if this is something you really desire, you got to trust me. You got to believe that I'm going to provide to you your husband. It's going to happen. So I'm gonna stop saying that, oh, I'm never gonna meet my husband. I don't know if he's out there, blah blah blah. He's hidden somewhere. Yeah, he's hidden, but I'm gonna meet my husband. I'm going to meet my husband. You have got to believe that. Sorry, y'all, I did it a little backwards. I forgot that I was doing eyeshadow today, because most of the time I just do my under eye concealer and mascara and eyebrows and be out the door. But so I'm gonna, what I would usually do is do my eyeshadow first, and then I would do my under eye concealer. So I'm probably gonna have to do my under eye concealer again, but we just going with it, okay? We going with it. But yeah, it was just so crazy to me that I could believe more for them that they would get their husband than I could believe for myself. And I actually had a patient at work one day. I was talking to her about being single for so long and waiting on God. I talked to her about like how I was so confused on like, sometimes I want to be single and then sometimes I want to be married. God had shown me that I just hadn't accepted the fact that he is sending my husband. And she confirmed it when she was like, you got to stop going back and forth. You're going back and forth too much. You keep saying, I want to be single, I want to be married. You got to believe what you want. I was like, oh, you're right. I think it's just, I just gotten so discouraged because it's been so long, and just the kind of guys that have come my way. And I gotta remember that just because certain type of guys come my way, that doesn't mean that is what God has for me. That's not all that God has for me. Sometimes God will only allow the kind of guys you know you're not interested in to come your way because he's still preparing you, you know. And he won't let the kind of guys that you would be interested in, because he know that they're going to break your heart. It's going to cause confusion, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I said all that to say, don't be discouraged. Don't give up on your dream. Know that he will fulfill it. He fulfills every promise that he makes to you. He will fulfill every desire of your heart that is God-given. So I hope this video will help y'all to just be encouraged and, you know, believe in your hopes and dreams and not believe the enemy's lies that you won't get all the things that you've hoped for, all the things that you've dreamed for, because that desire, that healthy, godly desire is in you for a reason. It's not there just because. So just keep believing and trusting in God, and he will give you the desires of your heart. I'm wearing my glasses today, so because I'm low on contacts. But I want y'all to see the look without glasses and of course with glasses. So that is the end of this video. I hope that in some way and somehow that God was able to use me as a vessel to help you on something that you were confused about or lost about. Let me know in the comment section below if this video was helpful for you. And let me know in the comment section below if you would like to see more Get Ready With Me videos in which we talk about faith-based topics. God's blessings to you, and I will see y'all in the next video.